Welcome, I am Emir, and let's look back in hindsight. This House of Mouse cartoon is iconic because this was the first to have cell phones as just a regular thing. Lilo and Stitch had alien technology. Kim Possible had a communicator. Hehe, Kim puns. The Kim puns start coming and they don't stop coming. The communicator, invented by the smart guy from Smart Guy. But the show I'll be talking about today had phones as a fact of life, not as some technology from the future, or from some advanced civilization, or from a genius. But yeah, these phones hide a big red F button. No, not forgiving Fs. This is not Mr. Crocker we're talking about. But, well, hello, Captain Obvious. The premise of the replacements is simple. Todd or Riley think that someone needs to be replaced. They call Fleamco to make the replacement. But then they realize that it was a mistake. They learn a lesson. Just like Kuzco. Except Kuzco never learned. Anyway, speaking of Kuzco, the Emperor's New School has a detailed Wikipedia article from the premise of the show to production to critical reception with citations. What about the replacements? Just a list of characters. Citation needed. If that's not a sign of being forgotten, I don't know what is. But the show steered clear of its format, its premise, even during season 1. Because sticking to that is just boring. Or is it? Let me go back to Kuzco, the last Disney Channel show that I reviewed. It took me almost 3 months to finish that monstrosity. The replacements only took me 2 weeks. Why? It's not repetitive. From being the focus, the replacements just become a plot driver, getting the story going. Not really important in the grand scheme of things. Or no replacement is happening at all, as a joke. Season 2 even adopts an A-plot, B-plot, sometimes C-plot formula. A long 122-minute episode instead of 2 11-minute episodes. I didn't see much of Season 2. But, judging from what I have watched for this review, I would have liked it if I did see them back in the day. There's this Buzz on Maggie episode, for example, where the siblings fight over the house instead of enjoying their sleepovers or slumber parties. I'm glad the replacements doesn't repeat that plot. See? Siblings can share. I said I didn't see much of Season 2 back in the day. But there's one episode I remember until now, even before rewatching the show for this review. Back then I was watching a Season 2 episode when I saw one of Riley's friends, Tasumi, appearing without her body armor. I thought she was a new character. I had to see what happened. Spoilers, turns out she was a Japanese pop star who wanted to get away from the limelight and just live in peace. Sounds familiar? I think that's more of a Hannah Montana reference actually. Speaking of Hannah Montana, again she voices a character here. I mean Miley Cyrus. And then that character reappears in Season 2 with Jessica DeChico, Malina, voicing her. You get to listen to Malina give Ayata impression. Anyway, let's talk about the other characters like, the main ones. Riley, above average and can get a bit controlling. I'm glad Johnny Hitswell, her boyfriend, calls her out over this and breaks up with her because of her controlling attitude. Again, I keep saying this in my videos. It takes two to tango. I never get why in relationships, there must always be a dominant, an alpha, a commander. Why not a relationship of equals? Anyway, I digress. Next one. Todd. Lazy. Always chooses the easy way out by replacing anyone he wants. Prone to get rich quick schemes. He combines all his traits in one episode where he makes money off selling replacements. There's Dick Daring, a reckless stuntman whose name can pass off for a porn star. I wonder if Disney would sue if a porn star used that name. So testosterone-filled, Dick Daring. And just look at him. He screams, USA! 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 And then there's Agent K, a British spy who has stage fright. Get it? It works. Just like the buzz on Maggie, the main characters hang out with the nerd. Although Todd doesn't really call Shelton his friend, he cares for him. They also hang out with Buzz, the bully. The show never explained who Todd and Riley's birth parents are. And I'm glad that it did not. There's this popular trope where an adopted child feels that they are never complete without finding out who their quote, real, unquote, parents, or more accurately, their biological parents, who their biological parents are. Or worse, putting adoption and adopted children in a bad light. Remember Orphan? Which is getting a sequel? How does that work? We have a cliche in Filipino soap operas, dramas, teleseries. Yes, this is foreshadowing. I will talk about them someday. Ampon ka lang. You're just adopted. As if adopted children are less than non-adopted children. Just like looking down on illegitimate children. In Filipino, anak sa labas, children outside of marriage. The proper term for illegitimate is non-marital. And yes, I'll talk about that someday too. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes. I'm glad the replacements didn't go through that arc, looking for their quote-unquote real parents. I'm happy how the ending turned out. Guess who's the irreplaceable in the title? The show also avoided mentioning that Todd and Riley were adopted, except for one mention in a season 2 episode. What did the show explain then? How the replacement program worked, why it's kept a secret, and the consequences of people finding out about it. The show explained that. It also explained why Todd and Riley got a super spy mom and a daredevil dude for a dad. I know, the intro says they sent $1.98 to Flimco and they got their parents, but if you'd watch the finale, you'd know what really happened. Spoilers, I guess. The show never explained, though, whose car was. Yes, Dick's colors, but Kay's accent. Oh wait, no, the show explained that too. So why does Scar have Dick's colors even if he hates Dick Daring? There's a theory. But no one cares about this show. Why would someone make theories about it? This ain't no SpongeBob. But the replacements does remind me of another Nick show. Odd Parents! Fairly Odd Parents! Internet! Which should not be a surprise. Jack C. Thomas, the replacement's executive producer and sometimes writer, wrote many pre-proof episodes. Sadly, that doesn't include Information Superhighway, aka the internet episode. I think Thomas left Fairly Odd Parents after the pre-proof cancellation to work on the replacements. But it's not just him. If you listen to the voice of Dick Daring, it would be very familiar. That's Dara Norris, the voice of Cosmo and Timmy's dad. The show kept his first name a secret as a running joke. But just call him Dinkelberg. Also, Dara Norris was the guy who played Gordy from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Results may vary. Gordy also voiced Prince Cinnamon Boots, Riley's pet. Other Fairly Odd Parents alumna include Gray Delisle, Vicky Tutti, who voiced Buzz, Tara Strong, Timmy Turner, voiced Shera, Riley's antagonist. I'm pretty sure I'm missing other Fairly Odd voice performers. I do remember seeing Carlos Alcarazzi, Mr. Crocker, whose ears are on his neck. I'm pretty sure he also voiced another character here. Just a one-off character, not a recurring one. I said I never saw much of Season 2 of The Replacements. I never even saw the ending until now. Right around the time The Replacements was airing on the House of Mouse network, I was in my first year of high school. Since the Philippines only had 10 years of basic education then, that meant I was 13, middle school age, or junior high school age now. Take your pick. I was losing interest in the House of Mouse. It was time to grow up and move on to Nickelodeon and watch Fairly Odd, Ned's Declassified, a live-action cartoon. I mean, really, look at Cowboy Cookie and tell me that this show isn't a cartoon. Drake and Josh, iCarly, and the show that has been theoried to death. The last Disney Channel cartoon I saw was not The Replacements though. It was about a hot dog-shaped, British rarely speaking boy and his triangle-headed brother who rarely faces the screen, who my sibling thinks is overrated. But that show isn't forgotten. Besides, there's no way I'd watch There's 104 Days of Summer Vacation episodes unless you support Emir's Balik Tanaw / in Hindsight on Patreon. So what are your thoughts on The Replacements? Let me know on the comment section of the YT page of this video. Please like and share this video across social media. Subscribe and ring the bell. Check out other Emir's Balik Tanaw / in Hindsight videos. I made a lot of Disney ones. Support the show on PayPal, on Patreon, and on Brave Rewards on Brave Browser. Thank you to my sibling G Arts for my avatar. Check out and support her work by clicking the links in the description. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.